Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Texans Probe. Today, we're back with Drew, of course. We're going to kind of recap. I know it's a little bit later in the week, but we're still going to recap kind of the Panthers game, what we saw. I think there was a lot of things that me and Drew will agree that were very positive signs from the Texans in this Panthers game. A lot to really like for from this game. A lot of we got to see the first team for probably the only time in the preseason. I highly doubt they're going to play in the upcoming game against Detroit. We'll kind of hear some of the joint practice stuff. But Drew, how you feeling, and how you feeling about the first team from what we saw?
The first team is exactly what you want to see. I mean, I understand that it was against the Panthers, but hey, the offensive line was a surprise, but also at the same time not a surprise because this is just really what a cohesive offensive line looks like. And when everyone's playing together and we get the right players on the field, you really start to see why they like Ed Ingram, why they like Jake Andrews, because of the work they do in the run game. And at the same time, pass protection, half the time it's just really about communication. And also you get benefits from having the athleticism of Ed Ingram. And I would probably say that Andrews is a better athlete than
Yeah,
Patterson.
I
And
agree.
then defensively, the secondary, no surprise to anyone, was just kind of locking down the Panthers. Eh options that they have at this
Yeah.
point. Bryce Young did kind of miss some throws, in my opinion, and maybe it was sped up a bit by the Texans' defensive line, which won. They definitely wanted the point of attack. They controlled the line of scrimmage, and that's what you love to see.
Yep, absolutely. I think the Texans' defense was dominant, which I think we kind of expected. They gave up some big plays in the joint practice, but I think they were almost motivated by wanting to go out there and prove a point in the preseason, just to
Yeah,
hammer home that they're a dominant unit, and they did that. We'll kind of get into more of the standout guys as we kind of watch the tape, but just a couple guys defensively that I thought really stood out because I think a lot of the focus has been on the offense, and obviously so
for
that
sure.
makes sense. But Henry To'oTo'o had an excellent game. His PFF grade was extremely high, but you go watch the tape, he picked up crossers extremely well, which is something that I think he has struggled with at some points in his career. He really picked up route combinations well. He was explosive in the run game, which he kind of always is. You kind of knew that was going to be the case for To'oTo'o. But he looks like he's taking another step. He improved from rookie year to second year, and if he improves again, you're looking at a bit of quality linebacker again. Christian Harris might kind of take some of that playing time from him, but at the end of the day, having a good third or second linebacker that rotates in is obviously something nice to have. Some other guys I thought played well. Jalen Smith kind of had a bounce back game. I thought he was okay against Minnesota. He was bad in the joint practice, and then played a good game against Carolina in the preseason. What are some other guys that had some good games? I mean, Derek Stingley. Are we surprised that Derek Stingley had a
Right.
good game? No,
Yeah, not much
I
there.
don't. I'm not going to put him on my standout list because who really expected him to play poorly?
Yeah, I was
MJ
gonna
Stewart.
say, I was gonna say Will Anderson because
Yeah,
he stands out because he's so good at defending the run more than anyone you really ever see in the league, and it's like wow, this guy can also have 3 sacks in a game if he wants to. Also, if he's not getting chipped and
yeah.
double teamed and triple teamed, he can do that too. But at the same time, if this happens, he's just going to be able to stuff the run every single time. He doesn't just set the edge; he totally flattens out blockers. He instantly pushes the runs back inside. As where sometimes running backs can be patient and maybe if they're fast enough they can surpass the edge. No, there's no chance that you're going to get
No,
outside the edge when Will Anderson is there, and I think that's why he stands out so much.
absolutely. I would agree with that. He had the holding penalty, but that was
Yeah,
something
he's
that he
just
just,
trying something out, I
yeah,
guess. I don't know.
yeah. No, that was funny, but Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter both had I think two pressures and seven pass rushes,
Yeah.
so they dominated a pretty good offensive line in Carolina. Their offensive line was good last season. They have pretty good tackles. They have good interior guys. Tim Settle had two pressures as well. I really like Tim Settle. This is something that I feel like he's kind of again an underrated guy for this defense. Like I feel like he was kind of like people were high on him at the end of last season, and then he kind of just progressively gotten forgotten about. I think he's the best defensive tackle on the team right now. So,
Yeah, and,
which
and that's something I see the vision there. It probably will change, every game. But the
yeah,
thing about Tim Settle is he's probably the most. I think I've probably said this before. He's probably the most balanced
yeah, he is.
defensive
Yeah,
tackle
yeah,
that they have because when we signed him from Buffalo, like yeah, he's obviously an adequate, above average run stopper when he was on the Texans, and then he started to add pass rush moves and in a relatively flashy way too.
Yeah.
So that was impressive. And then you kind of have your role specific guys. I'm glad we got Tim Settle on this roster at the price that he's at right
Absolutely,
now.
I agree. They've really gotten good value across the defensive line. We kind of have talked
Right.
about this, but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at the defensive line room, and I'm trying to make my roster like final cuts, coming into this week,
Right.
and it's really tough to not keep 10 defensive linemen on this team. Like that, the one to me, like Danico Autry is the one that like I don't know what the hell they're going to do with Danico Autry. They could IR him, they could just flat
Yeah.
out cut him. That'll kind of determine a lot of it because the nice part with the Autry is if you keep him, you probably can only keep 9 because he can do everything. Like he can do both. He can play defensive tackle. He can play 3 tech. He can play
Mhm.
defensive end. He can play wide. Like he can literally do everything for you.
Right.
So he saves you a roster spot. So in that sense, you might want to keep the Autry if he's healthy, or you just IR him and then see. But like I know Tommy Togiai is a guy that they love. Tommy Togiai, they've loved it. He had a really good game as well. We can get into that. He
Yeah.
played really
True.
well.
Yeah.
But Tommy Togiai is a guy they really like. I know they really like Dylan Horton as well. So that would kind of be. Would you rather keep both of those guys, or would you rather just keep Danico Autry, I don't know when he's going to play? That's something that you could kind of talk about. One thing I do want to do near the end of this episode, I didn't bring this up, but I kind of want to. I saw SNL like Cody Stutes kind of did this. I want to go through my roster like locks, the guys that I am confident are going
Yeah.
to make the roster, and I'll kind of cut it down as we're going here. But I want to see how many guys I'm confident are going to make the roster and then kind of see what spots are open. So that's something I
Mhm.
kind of want to do at the end of this episode because I think our next episode will probably be by the end, by after cut down, I think, probably if I had to guess. I don't know exactly what day we're going to do it, but roster cut down's Wednesday, I think. So maybe Wednesday night we could get on here, kind of talk
Yeah.
about it or
Wednesday
something
night
like
would be
that.
good. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll figure out some time like that because Thursday night U of H plays and I'm gonna be at the game. So I'll
So
have to figure. We're pulling out. We're pulling up to the game for sure. So I think we can go ahead and dive into the tape. There's kind of a decent amount of tape to watch for this week. Definitely more than the
mhm.
Minnesota game because we got a lot of first team stuff going on. I think we'll start. Do you want to start with the offense since we were kind of?
Yeah.
Do you want to just okay? Yeah, let's just do that. We could just do this.
And then,
Strong.
yeah, I see Steve's comment here. I'm interested to see how even more creative D'Amico Ryans is with their defensive line, because you have, they added Darrell Taylor, and they also, they seem like Dylan Horton, and Dylan Horton has unique size, so you could
Mhm.
obviously put him in an interior spot. You could put him in a 5 technique. You could put Anderson at a 7 technique or a 9 technique next to each other. I mean, you could put Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson next to each other in a 5 technique and a 7 technique, and with an unbalanced, line and stuff like that. And so,
Yeah, one thing that I'll pause it while we're talking about some of this, or I don't even know if it's gonna
yeah,
let me pause. But one thing that I did see at camp, and I know they're weird about like not tweeting for certain formations and stuff.
right,
They're weird about that. But what I can tell you was they played a formation where they had um, Will Anderson line up as like an edge or a wide 9, and they had Daniil Hunter essentially as like the Sam and he blitzed from that spot. So they've done a lot of weird things with like they will move
right.
around Daniil Hunter,
That's
and
exciting.
and they will try different things like that. And I think it works because Daniil Hunter could literally play cover. Like he's that athletic to where he literally could play Sam linebacker and probably be fine on
Oh
a third
yeah,
down and 3rd and 12. Like he could cover a running back. But they blitzed them from the same side they stunted. And the Texans offensive line, credit to them, did a pretty good job picking it up. Like that's a weird blitz to try to pick up, but just something to keep note of because if you want to try to get Darrell Taylor on the field on 3rd downs, which I do think they're going to want to try to do, that's a way to do it.
yeah, exactly. Just put him on the other side. He might get a
Yep.
one-on-one matchup. So
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's
that's
go ahead
good.
and we can go ahead and get started for the run plays. I'll go kind of the offensive line view, um, and
Yeah,
so here we go. So we get
he was getting the most push
yeah.
here. Yeah,
I don't remember all the plays like by memory. So um,
right.
yeah, this
Looks. I mean, we pretty much just gotta look at the left side. Really want to focus on what Jake Andrews and Laken Tomlinson do here. Ed Ingram's just kind of sealing off the 3 techniques, so not really
yeah.
much to see there.
So here we go. So slowed it down a little
Uh,
bit. Um,
yeah, it's gonna be Ed Ingram and Ursery really with the biggest job. But it looks like they got 5 down
mhm.
linemen, and they didn't really have much they could do because of the leverage. of 96, I believe. That's 96.
On the end,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ideally, you get a little bit more room up that
Hmm.
B gap. That's the A gap, but
Yep.
it looks like they're trying to go to the B gap, but it kind
Yep.
of gets sandwiched. Let's see what happens with Jake Andrews here. Actually, yeah, Jake Andrews' initial hand placement was definitely a little bit off. Needed to force him more to the right or to
Hmm.
his right,
Yeah. Force
but
some.
he got
Yeah.
across his face. So
Andrews got to force some more this way. What do we think about the
mhm.
Cade Stover block coming around? I mean, it's kind of
you
a
know,
hard.
it's weird because like that's exactly what you're supposed to do, but at the same time, that guy kind of made the
Yeah.
tackle. So I don't know. Again, I think ideally Chubb really is running where Andrews
Yeah.
would have hopefully made the rushing lane, but he just didn't make the rushing lane. Make the rushing lane.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like
Yeah.
I said, you're trying to run kind of right in
Right.
here.
You're not truly trying to run where
No,
Stover's
no, yeah.
gunning. So
Stover, by the way, this is
yeah.
something that we kind of talked about last episode, and it showed up again. He's
Right.
very good when he's on the move, and then he's not good when he's stationary. Like this is at least you know what he can do. Because I thought he did do a pretty good job on the move in this game. He had another nice cut block at another point in this game. Um, but at least like I said, at least you know what he can do from a blocking standpoint.
Right.
And they seem to be
And we'll
aware.
see how many
They
times
seem
they
to be
let
aware of it, at
him.
least now, where like they're not asking him too much to go block like an edge rusher stationary. At least they didn't in this game. They more so asked him to kind of come across the line and try to cut someone like they did on the first play there. So
Hmm. And that's what I would expect to be
yeah,
during this.
that last season too. So we'll see. We'll see because
Yeah.
that's something that I want to kind of talk about. If we're gonna get into the cut down stuff, I do want to talk about the tight end position and the receiver, like what they're gonna do on offense, because I'm having a very hard time getting to 53 now. It's a weird cut.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
weird
really
cut
tricky.
down.
We don't know.
So yeah, we'll talk about
Right.
that once we kind of get through the tape. So this first throw of the game, you kind of just get a nice level. I mean, some sort of levels concept. You get Schultz is on. I guess Schultz is just sitting. You could have hit Schultz here too. Schultz is open. Um, but yeah, I mean that's an easy throw and catch here. Um, Not
Yeah.
really that much to say about this one. I mean, you get a double team if you want to look at the line. You get a double team
Yeah, I mean,
on Derek
yeah,
Brown.
you just also look off the line. You probably just look off the linebacker, hit Schultz there too. So it's
Yeah,
nice to have multiple
yeah, for
options.
sure. And I think I mean like this is such a frequent route that they hit all the time. The dig or the over to Nico here. So you kind of like you said, you kind of look off the linebacker a little bit, just hit Kirk. I mean that's 6 yards. Really you set up a 3rd and 2, which is very very good down a distance. That's what you want to be in. And on this 3rd down, as we'll get to this, I mean they literally got exactly the look that you'd want on either side, and Stroud just missed the throw, and he knew he missed it. Like it just sailed on him here. Um, it's just a miss.
Yeah, I definitely felt well. I know the broadcasters were
Yeah.
talking
So
about
okay.
Nico
So what I
fading
will say
out.
is I do agree that he thinks he's going to be more to the sideline, but how close to the sideline do you want to be? The ball's 4 yards out of bounds. I don't really know. Like it's just a
Yeah,
bad
yeah. I
throw.
also don't know why he felt the need to do it because you can see the cushion. I mean, I see
Yeah.
the cushion that Nico has, so I know he's going to sustain that down the field.
Yeah, I guess
So I'm a little
So
worried
I
about it.
kind of see what they're saying, because it does look like Nico kind of drifts inside from here. Like he's kind of so he does
Right.
drift a little bit inside, which I get Stroud wants to keep him outside. But like I said, I don't think either way he's catching this football. So I don't really know. It could be a miscommunication, but it's also just not a very good throw. Like it's not. But
Yeah.
I will say it's not the issue that like we've talked about where the ball's too flat going to the outside. He just missed it. The arc on the throw is fine. His footwork's fine. He just missed it. He just stole the throw.
Yeah. Nothing else to really
Yeah.
say
Although
there.
I will say this is something that I noticed with him last season. Sometimes I feel like his footwork gets a little bouncy. Like he kind of bounces too much on the drop back, and he kind of does it here.
Right. That's when I thought things started to change for him. And that's when we started to notice his mechanics were a bit off, and that's kind of the same
So
thing
just something
now.
to kind of clean up. Like I said, in preseason week 2, I'm not concerned about it. Like he missed, missing a throw is normal. Like you can knock out some rust and stuff, and that's okay. I'm not gonna overreact to it. But just footwork wise, he's a little bouncy in his drop. Like, you know,
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
love
I
that.
wonder if maybe he's
I don't
he's
love.
doing it because he's trying to get the ball out quick. Like he's not expecting to throw the deep ball almost in a way. But then you still don't want to be as kind of bouncy with the footwork.
Right. At the same because you're
Yeah,
hitching left and then slightly to the right because you have two quick. You got two
yeah,
stop
yeah,
routes.
yeah. So that's just something like I said, I'm not concerned about it necessarily like in preseason week 2, but just something to kind of clean up. Like um because like I said, this is wide open.
I think he just. What I will say for the last thought here is I think he saw that safety creep down,
Yeah, threw it more
and so he
outside.
knew that he could throw the one. He knew he could throw
Yeah.
the one-on-one because that safety's
Yeah,
going
right
to
here.
curl
Yeah.
flat.
Um
Yeah, and his classic banjo, one high deep safety look on third
Yeah, but
down.
honestly, what I will say
So,
was my main takeaway from this when I watched it was not necessarily about the throw because at the end of the day, this is a throw that Stroud's going to make a lot of the time. Like this is a throw that he makes most of the time. My main
maybe.
my main takeaway was the fact that I like the fact that okay, you have one-on-one matchups down the field for Nico and Kirk here. Like you have Kirk running the slot fade, and you could throw that ball as well. I mean, at some point, you have to hold it a little bit longer, but you can make that throw as well. Um, at some point, he's even with the corner, and you could throw
Mhm.
this up the field if you want. Um, like I said,
Right.
I'm just not overly concerned about this kind of miss like early on. Like I said, if it continues to happen, I didn't think something that maybe we disagreed with a little bit. I didn't necessarily think his deep ball accuracy, especially early, was bad. But like you said, I think later on in the season it did kind of tail off. But just kind of something to
Yeah.
see. We can watch the footwork here as well. I said he's just kind of
I just really, it's so
yeah,
leggy. It's so leggy and bouncy that's like, when I say that, I'm saying it because that's something you look
yeah.
for, and it's very undesirable.
I mean, he's never
I
really
just
like he never really comes to like your set.
no.
He's moving. I mean, because how many? I'd be curious to count. I guess like how many footsteps does he take on his drop? Right. So that's one. That's two, three, four. Like that's I did like 7 steps.
Like, and you shouldn't be taking
Yeah.
that many steps from that little
Yeah.
depth. You would think.
Yeah. So just something
I'm
something to
still
clean up.
very much learning about
Something to
quarterbacks,
clean
but
up.
yeah.
Now this is a good throw, and I saw people
Right.
say this is when some people I don't think understand where you're trying to throw the ball. You're not always trying to hit guys in the chest. Like this is
Yeah, no, he
yeah,
did it on purpose,
because if
100%.
you throw this football right here, Christian Kirk is dead. I mean, this linebacker is killing Christian Kirk if you throw this football here. This is I mean this
Right.
is
Now, ironically, you have Hutchinson for a very
yeah
clean and
yeah
safe
yeah
throw.
yeah. He never even really looks that way. I mean, he does at the start, but he almost kind of looks at Hutchinson to just draw the linebackers, like make them flow a little bit this way. Because you can kind of see the linebacker. He flows a little. He takes one step that way, and then the ball's ripped to Kirk. So you're just trying to kind of open up this route here. But like I said, perfect throw. It's exactly where you would want it. I mean, you shield him from the linebacker, and Kirk does it. It's a good catch by Kirk as well. So
Yeah. I do think Ursery oversets a
we can
little
go
bit
back.
there,
Oh, here
but
we go.
they'll probably be off it.
Yeah, we can watch it from this angle.
That's the thing. Like he sees a
Yeah.
wide 9, but he's not ready for the inside move, so he needs to just kind of learn
Mhm.
a little bit there.
Yeah. I do think Ursary has like that's the thing. Ursary hasn't been perfect, and you don't expect him to be
Yeah.
perfect, but he's been good enough
No.
in practice and in games to where you feel pretty confident with him playing. For a second round tackle, he's played really well. Like that's where you're at.
Yes.
But like I said, there's certain things that you can clean up. But my main takeaway from the whole thing is like I don't know how good the line is going to be, but they're a well coached line now, which is a big part of it. I think Cole Popovich has done a really good job. He's done about everything you can ask from him at this point. Like, and we'll see what happens during the season. But I do think that the nice part is they're probably going to be as well coached as a unit as they can be. And we couldn't say that about the unit last year. So, however far that can get them with the talent that they have, I don't know.
Right.
But there's at least going to be a foundation after this season, which is something that we've talked about for forever. There's going to be pieces on the line and a
Mhm.
foundation to build around. So you can say Cole Popovich is their offensive line coach for however long, and build around Ursary, build around hopefully Andrews is a guy that I've really come to like. And Titus Howard will probably be here, for a little bit longer. He's only, I think, 29, 28. And he seems to be moving back to tackle, which I'm pretty happy about. I think he's a better tackle than he is guard. So he'll probably be here as well. And, Ed Ingram's a guy that's been really impressive. I don't know what to make of Ed Ingram yet because I'm a little bit hesitant to really believe in the guard play. We saw Kenyon in preseason last year play awesome, so I'm a little hesitant to
Yeah,
like buy in on an Ingram when it's the consistency that's been the problem with him. But it's
yeah.
encouraging. I'm not going to say it's not encouraging. I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, I think if we get to the point of like we're name dropping Ed Ingram too much, that's where like okay, fine, we'll move Titus back to
Yeah.
guard, and then you put Cam
Or
Robinson to tackle.
I
We'll
I would
see.
almost lean with the fact that I think they've played Earthery too much on the left side now to move him back to the right side. I think they would just put Juice Scruggs at right guard.
Oh yeah, I mean you can
Yeah,
do that.
I
Sure.
just feel like my take and I was kind of talking with Landry about this a little bit, or he was kind of discussing it. Like, I think the fact that Ursary's been only left side for like 2 to 3 weeks now, it would be very weird to try to move him back to the right side. That would make a lot of sense. Like he's a natural left tackle. So the fact that you've at least like I get with the first team, but you would think like he plays with the third team as well. You would think if you had any idea of playing him on the right side now, you'd play him with the third team right tackle. Like that would make sense just to get the looks from
Mhm.
both sides. So to me, he's pretty much locked in at left tackle now. I don't think they want to move him. And to me, this is an interesting point too. That does make me wonder if Cam Robinson's a guy that they could use as trade bait coming up here because the fact that he can't play right tackle is like a little concerning for a backup tackle. Well, we can kind of talk about
Yeah.
that a little bit more later.
Yeah, we can get more. I was gonna say we can get more
Yeah,
into
for
that
sure. Yeah,
later.
yeah. We'll get more
Let's
into
see
that
this
with the
get
roster cut.
Corey
Just
up.
something that I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
But just kind of talking about the offensive line. One last thing, like the line, I think is set with this group that you have here, and then Titus Howard at right guard or right tackle. That's going to be the line week 1, I think, at
Right.
this point.
Yeah.
This run, I don't remember this run exactly. This was awesome. Actually, this was good. This is good stuff here. Get the combo from I think it was Ursary and Tomlinson. There you go.
Yeah.
Lakin played well in his first game.
And that
Um,
actually is our first look at an insert block from Hutchinson
yeah,
too.
Hutchinson, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Stresson actually tweeted that because
Oh
he
yeah,
actually
he's the
I
one
think
who
he
was he
tagged
like
me in a yeah I think he tagged me in the group chat when he saw it. 'Cause that was
right.
something that we had talked about for the longest time. So that is the first look at an insert.
Yeah.
And you kind of get Kirk, and Kirk's not really inserting, I guess, because he's kind of coming around, but he's still kind of blocking in the middle. This is
Also
the play I was talking about.
it's also excellent willingness to actually get in there and block. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool that you can really like you actually see him burst upfield
yeah,
to
yeah.
make
He's
the
right.
block.
He's getting in
So
there.
yeah.
Like I said, the one thing that I am confident offensively in is that they will be a better coached unit. Like that is the one thing
Right.
I can be confident about. I don't know how good they're going to be of a unit, but they're going to be well coached on
Yeah.
offense, and that's something that
Yeah, but at
you
the
couldn't
same time,
say.
like, how athletic or talented do you really need to be on? Look at this play. I mean, they're both guards and tackles are helping both double teams are perfect by the
Yeah,
offensive linemen, and you can see how we're not trying to get 20 yards. We just want 5 yards, and we're going to
yeah.
do that 15 times a game, hopefully.
And then this is another good example of when we talk about Kate Stover not being able to generate power when he's stationary. You want him to move the end out, and he doesn't really.
All right, and you
Um,
should not put him in this role.
yeah, you've kind of seen it be a thing. And granted, I will give him kind of a pass in this one because they didn't really have another option to throw out
Yeah, I
there.
guess
They were
so.
they were short on tight end bodies, so I get it. But I do think that's part of the reason why you saw Harrison Bryant trade happen is like this being Harrison Bryant would make a lot of
Right.
sense.
Yeah, look, at
Um,
the end of the day, like they have to watch the film back, and they know they absolutely know that Stover will not drive his legs and get a defender down the field, but he can, as you
mhm.
said, block on the move. But he just cannot do
No, he
this.
can't do this. But like you said, on first down, when you run this type of, you run this type of duo combo block, like 5 yards is perfect. You want
Yeah,
5 yards. You will take
yeah,
5 yards every time there. And like you said, I'll go back real quick. I don't want to move on too quickly. Um, but I mean, you can't ask for a whole lot more from that unit there. And like you said, the combo blocks are perfect on both sides, or
hmm
on both groups here. I mean, you get like I said, Ursary and Tomlinson pancake the guy. He's on the ground. And then, I
Yeah.
mean, this defensive tackle is, I mean, how many yards off the line is that? I mean, he
I mean,
gets,
94 is struggling. Like
yeah.
he is not doing anything.
And then you get injuries, man. After he didn't even know where the ball is. He's going upfield. He's getting up on 32 here.
And the
um,
great thing is like not 92, like that's actually great technique. He drops his knee, yet there is just so much force and quality
yeah.
hand placement and leverage going on between those two blocking him. He goes to the
Yeah,
ground.
these two here, Andrews and Ingram, have done a very nice job in combo blocks the whole preseason. Like they have mauled people at the point of attack, and on these combo blocks, and it makes sense. You go watch their run blocking, and it makes a lot of sense. Those guys are very athletic and very
Yeah,
strong guys. So it should not be that surprising to anyone. And this is another reason why Jarrett Patterson's not the team center. He's not doing this. Like Jarrett
right. There's
Patterson's not
yeah, I've
doing
never
this.
seen him do that.
So that's the reason why Jake Andrews was the favorite coming into camp, and he won the job. Like he's not doing that.
Right.
Um, and there's certain things that Jake Andrews does better, or that Jarrett Patterson does better. And you go to the pass blocking, he probably does a lot of that better, but he doesn't do that. So,
Yeah.
and this is the Nico screen. We can watch the blocking on this. I do like the idea of motioning into the screen as well.
Yeah, just as
Hutchins,
much misdirection as possible, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden you have eight guys, coming at you. So fun
yeah, and I
stuff.
think a big thing is they can't really adjust to the screen here. You get the motion coming across. It's not man, so they're not gonna follow a guy across. So you have the numbers
Yeah.
advantage here, even at the start. I mean, you want Kirk can go block this guy, Hutchinson can block this guy, and then you're able to get the lineman to block upfield. Uh, Ursary kind of misses, which is kind of a little unfortunate. Like if he makes that block, it's maybe a little bit bigger. But either way, and
Right.
a first and 10, 8-yard screen is something that everyone will take.
And you almost
Um,
wonder if, nowadays CJ is able to check out of the screen if he sees man
yeah.
coverage and gets to call either a run play or a man beater. And so that's something I'll be curious to see, like when we see motion into a bunch like that, if they run, a true man beater play, or if they
Mm.
run, a shit play that gets stopped by man coverage.
Yeah. 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 And this is a pretty good job by Lakin. He did a nice job. Andrews getting upfield. They're laying some blocks downfield. Well, and Ed Ingram didn't get upfield. He took 64 out of the play or 94 out of the play. He just shouldered him out of the way. What's funny is that reminds me of you're in the Chargers game when we had Tierra Tart. You remember when he got upfield and really stopped Nico from getting a 30 plus yards on a screen?
I think,
Um,
yeah, it sounds familiar.
So Tierra Tart like made a play. It was like still like an 8-yard gain. It was still a good game, but Tierra Tart like barely tripped him. That's not happening with Ed Ingram's on that guard here, man. He's taking everybody behind the play. He's taking all these guys out of the play. He's like, you're not getting upfield there. um, but yeah, no, it's nice to see the lineman get upfield like that. And it's a lot easier of a concept for the lineman to be able to get upfield. That was something that I thought last year was kind of a tough ask. They would ask like Laramie Tunsil to go block upfield on screens, and it was like I don't know how you expect him to go make this block. He's not like there's no lineman in the league that can get upfield back quickly and go make that block from where Nico is. So when you line up in line like this, Nico's not outside necessarily. He's kind of, I mean, he is, but it's in a condensed look. So he's able to like you're
Yeah.
able to get over there, and it makes it easier for the receivers to go make a block as well. Like we said, it's nice to see Kirk so willing to block. He's not a great blocker, but he's willing to go out there and do it, which is nice.
Mhm.
Because it wasn't really something that we saw from Diggs. That was something that we talked about. Like Diggs was able to block, but he wouldn't really want to do it. He kind of would take reps off in the blocking game. So it's nice to see Kirk go out there and do it. And then I think the next play, probably the
Yeah,
best
Jaden Higgins. Forgot
probably the
about
best throw of the or best play of the day. This to me was a good throw. I know some people were like, I know Stroud's kind of throwing to a spot here. Cecil Shorts kind of talked about it, but this is I'm interested to see the footwork because I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's kind of talked about just the fact that 6'4" guy can stop and start like that in his vertical stem, selling a vertical, and then get outside, and that's
Yep.
really really impressive stuff. You don't necessarily need to have burst; you just need to have great body control, and he shows that right there.
Yeah, and something that Cecil was talking about. I was watching him in Pain the other day, and like I said, some people were kind of complaining about the ball placement, but what Cecil said, and you can take it how you want, but he essentially said that Stroud's kind of thrown to a spot here, and Higgins, they would probably like Higgins to get out of the break a little bit quicker, maybe not take as many steps to get out of it
Oh, I
and get to
agree.
the spot
Yeah.
quicker. And like I said, I would agree with that. I think right here, you don't really need to take as many steps as he does to get outside there. Like you said, it's still impressive
But
with how
maybe
athletic he is.
because I feel like maybe because he's 6'4" and he's got
Yeah,
all the
for
length.
sure. I mean,
It can be difficult in some aspects.
yeah, and either way, this is about what you want. You get it to the outside, you put it where, let your 6'4" guy go extend and go make a play like that. I mean, you expect it. If this is Jalen Noel, you don't necessarily expect him to be able to go get the ball at that spot. But Jaden Higgins should be able to go make that catch. I mean, he's
Yeah.
6'4". He's got incredibly long arms. You go let him make a play. This is better footwork from Stroud. Not as bouncy. He does a good job sliding up here. You can watch it from this angle as well. Jakob Johnson sighting.
Yep.
I mean, this is what we're talking about. You don't need to like. He didn't need. You don't need to take as many steps as he did on the Nico throw. Right.
No.
This is simple right here. You get in your drop. You
And
take two, three
it's
steps.
night and day. It's like it was absolutely a technical mishap on that
Yeah.
miss Nico throw because this is way different footwork. Way
Yeah.
different.
And then this is his footwork that we saw in the first 20 plus games, right? And
Right.
that's what we've talked about. And you almost wonder if like it's in that first drive, it's like he sees the deep ball, he gets a little too excited.
I guess so.
Preseason
Yeah.
week 2, you're almost like too amped, you're like excited to throw it, I guess. I don't know. Because and this is just clean footwear. This is perfect. It's not like the cleanest pocket. You got Urser, you got this guy kind of coming around the end here. It's not like a immediate
Well,
pressure,
there's
but
room to step up, so that's not really a lot
yeah,
of pressure.
no. For some reason, next gen stats counts this as a pressure, which
Oh, I'm sure they do.
they count everything as a pressure. It's so weird to me that they do that. But this is why PFF is what I go to for the pressure stats, because I don't really care what next gen stats have to say about pressures, because that is to me is not a pressure. um, but Kate Silver does a good job on the D end here as well. That was something that stood out to me. That's a pretty good job by him.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little
Plays into the
concerned
help.
about Carolina's pass rush.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
their
haven't
pass
really
rush
done
is
anything, good, technically wise, and
yeah.
not really sure.
There's only about 3 players in their defense that I actually like. One of them is right here, Mobrig or Moreau. I don't know how you say his name. I always get it wrong, but I like him. I like JC Horn's good. Mike Jackson actually had a really good joint practice. I don't know. I think he's solid, but he had a good joint practice for them.
Yeah.
They got a decent amount of guys, but their front seven is rough, very rough.
Right.
This one we can go. This was the check down. No, wait, that's the wrong play. All right, go to this.
Okay. Yeah, I remember this one. Kind of a wait. What? Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just classic quick game, but immediately you kind of notice they're matching everything, so you have to rescan. Nothing's really open initially. Probably you need to hit Stover instantly, but he doesn't.
Yeah, he read it left to right, so it's the same concept to both sides, like we're saying, right? It's the same
Exactly.
idea. He's reading it to Jakob, though. He wants to throw this. You can see it. He's looking at
Yeah.
it. He taps the ball. He wanted to throw it to Jakob originally, and I think he thinks about throwing it to Higgins, but I think he wants Higgins to almost look back quicker than he does in the read. It looks like he kind
I
of
mean, look,
on
Higgins
it.
settles in the space. So
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just
yeah. He just kind
the
of moves
game you
off
have
the
we're watching it
tackler.
in slow mo, and so it's almost not even fair because those zones are getting tight very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So,
I mean that, yeah, but you'll take 4 yards on first down like that, like you said, quick. And he knows, like, the biggest thing for Stroud is he knows that he has to get rid of this football quick. Like you cannot hold the ball in quick game like this. You get Fisher cup blocking someone. You have to get rid of the football. So it's a good job at the end of the day. Like he looks off the left side. Like you said, he probably should have gone to Stover. I
Yeah,
never even looked over there, but it's a good job. Just okay, boom, we're gonna take 4 yards.
yeah.
That's what you want to see.
Okay.
Like I said, he wanted to rip this to Jakob. If he reads it right to left, you throw this to Stover immediately. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the read goes, so I'm not gonna
Yeah,
get overly critical
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
It works. We'll take the 4. I'm not sure Stover would have gotten more than like 5 anyway, so it doesn't really change a whole
Right.
lot. Is this another
Doesn't.
insert block? Oh, I guess kind of. Kirk kind of just
Yeah.
never really touched him. But here we go. It was a pretty good run from Chubb. I probably should watch it from the other angle.
Yeah, but I just love how quick Chubb looks. Like we don't really care about long speed. That's not doesn't really matter. He genuinely looks quick out there, and he's going to be physical and whew, he looks
Yep.
good. He looks real good. I mean, geez, that whew, slashing into the A gap like that is pretty eye catching.
Yeah. Yeah. He looked good. He had a good game. This is probably the best rep from Blake Fisher. Maybe all of camp.
Maybe ever. I don't know.
Yeah. This is a really good rep. Like, he did a really
I
good
mean,
job here.
no, I mean, come on. He looks a little soft when
He
he's doing.
does, but it's a good job. He did his job at the end of the day, and that's a
Anyways,
lot from
the
Blake
guy
Fisher.
who really, made this play happen was Ed Ingram. So
Yeah,
he he looks quick. He looks powerful. Kind of pushing that guy downfield or out of his spot a
yeah.
little bit.
Something that we've kind of gotten on this the last couple of weeks. Like, there's just certain guys that move athletically on the offensive line, and certain guys that
Right.
are athletic that don't. He looks like he moves. He moves athletically. Like he looks smooth when he moves. Blake Fisher doesn't really. He kind of look like him and Juice Scruggs just don't
Right.
have the movement, like the movement an athletic guy, and they are athletic. That's the weird part. They're not like
Also, I
unathletic
think
guys.
Ingram might have longer arms than Fisher. I mean, Ingram
Yeah,
might have longer arms. He might be more defined. He's definitely quicker. He's definitely faster. He's definitely stronger. I mean, goddamn.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got Stover blocking the edge rusher down on the backside.
Which is fine for the backside.
Yeah,
You know.
just kind of keeping an eye on it. Like I said, this is not really an insert block because an insert block you have to kind of come inside. But again,
Right.
Kirk is motioning in to try to block someone in the middle, which I mean he doesn't really ever have an opportunity to, but it's not because it went poorly. So we'll take that. And then you get it. This is the best Chubb run of the day, 9 yards.
Big one.
Let me go. Let's go to the other view. Again, it's really the two. It's really
Right.
Ingram and
Those double
Andrews.
Yeah. I
Because
think the important part is how quick and like in rhythm, Ingram does this.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
don't
I would
stay in
agree.
phase, the gap doesn't open. You have to be able to get off of that first guy and get up to the second level. And that simple as that, gets you 9 yards. I mean, Blake Fisher he was not able to turn the guy outside.
Hmm.
He has no leverage. He has tall pad level. And unfortunately it didn't matter.
Yeah, and then you get the two tight end look here. So they're not really double teaming, but Stover kind of gives like a shoulder to
Right.
the defensive end, helps out, and then Stover does a decent job on the linebacker. I mean, he pushes them upfield. Um, so this is a pretty good job by the tight ends as well, backside, or not, I guess not backside, but over to the end here. But yeah, I mean, really, this is the working of these two guys in the middle,
Yeah.
um, Andrews and Ingram again. Really, like been a theme all preseason of them two moving guys in the run game. So something to be excited about. Although I do remember saying that about Juice Scruggs and Kenyon Green last preseason. So we'll see.
Oh God. No, I think I can tell the difference between Ed Ingram and Kenyon Green for sure. I'm
Yeah,
not worried.
yeah. I don't think they're that level. At least Ed's a good run blocker. Kenyon was just big. Kenyon was not a good run blocker. What we got here? 4 yard gain.
Yeah.
Um,
Nursery does a good job kind of redirecting, so I like that. Lakin stays engaged actually.
Yeah, Lakin did a
The
pretty good
second
job.
level. You don't have to be fast at the second level. You should have to be physical.
Yeah, like I said, he's able to move the guy out of the gap. And I guess, I mean, he really doesn't move him because the guy kind of makes the play, but he attempts to move him. That guy makes a pretty
I
good.
do. It's just a little pet peeve. I wish Lakin helped and Andrews out a little bit more because you can see how 99 is already inside shade. So that's
Yeah,
really hard for Andrews to get turn him outside.
yeah.
And Lakin just unfortunately didn't. It was more like a square.
Hmm.
So, I mean, maybe a little outside, but it's tough ask for sure.
And then you have, let's watch this side. I mean, yeah, nothing really to.
And Fisher couldn't even seal the
No,
lineman to the outside. So beats
yeah.
me.
Ed seals. Ed does a pretty
All
good
right.
job. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I can kind of see why Blake Fisher's run blocking grade was so low.
Mm-hmm. He's just not really doing much.
This play was this play was pretty funny actually. I remember watching this. I'm sitting like up here. I remember watching this play.
Oh yeah, a little scramble around. So it's funny, like you kind of know someone like Lamar Jackson scores on this play, but
Yeah, my thought
if you
my
saw
thought was I really did think when I was watching it live that right here I think he would have tried to run if it wasn't preseason week 2. That was my first thought when I watched the play was him like mentally being like I'm not running in preseason. I'm not gonna take a
right,
hit in this situation because in the red zone when you run you kind of know you're gonna take a hit. Like you're not really gonna be able to go down in a certain situation like if you start taking off. So in a real game I think he would at least try even if he doesn't run to kind of take this and try to at least go like, okay, we're gonna go here, try to maybe draw this linebacker hit. I can't tell who that is. I think is that Nico? It might be Nico. I can't tell in that corner. No,
right.
that's Hutchinson. That's Hutchinson. But I do think this is what you would try to do in a game. Like I mean, it's a good job by Ed. Actually, Ed completely clears out the rushing lane if he wants to take it with the double team here.
Yeah, I would just honestly, I would just say he should have just given Nico a chance, throw the ball to his chest. You see
Yeah,
that
let's
a
watch it.
lot with bigger receivers. If you just throw it into their catch radius within their chest, I think you have a good chance. But
Yeah.
he was worried the ball would get batted down. But I think you just kind of got to give it to your big body target.
Yeah, and it's not like Stroud has never done that before. He's done that with Nico a couple times, especially in the red zone. They do that a decent amount where he just throws
Right.
it. The good example was Miami last year. I think it was Miami where it was like a scramble drill, and Nico just kind of sat in the middle of the end zone, like in this area, and he just threw it. Just threw it to space. But yeah, I get in preseason you kind of just like, okay, let's just move on. Let's not take a hit. Let's not like risk a turnover. Let's just go down and try
Right.
to work on our red zone offense a little bit more. But that was just kind of a thought for me. Like when I was watching it, was I think he would have tried to make a play going this way in
Mm-hmm.
a real game. And then, oh man, this was a cool design, and I was a little bit disappointed this didn't score a touchdown because it definitely should have. We can watch, but yeah, this is wide open. Schultz does a good job. He picks two guys essentially here.
Oh yeah. No, that was very nice.
Great design. Schultz knows it too. You can see Schultz is like disappointed. He did exactly what you would want him to do. He picks the defender.
Yeah.
And Stroud knows. And really, there's not much you can do here. It's just good
No,
play. I mean,
literally.
it's just a good play. Like this is when like the batted passes. Like I know some people try to blame Lyman for him or something. Like or blame the quarterback. Like it's frustrating, but it's just a good play. It's just an athletic play. Like
Mhm.
there's nothing you can do about this. Brown makes a really good play. But what's encouraging is the fact that the Texans were a bad red zone offense last year, and Dare is wide open, like literally wide open. There's nobody even near him. I mean, this is a walk-in touchdown. Um, so
Right.
what? Hold on. All right, my bad.
That's
We're
okay.
back.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so we'll move on. We'll go to the touchdown now. Um, let's see. I mean, this is a fun concept. This is actually the exact same concept. Streston's kind of pointed this out. This is the same concept that Stroud threw a pick on in the joint practice. You get
Oh,
the level, you get the out into the corner,
yeah. Oh, I see
uh,
what you mean.
and he
Yeah.
tried to
Yeah.
hit
Yeah.
in the joint practice. He tried to hit this Hutchinson, and it was picked.
Right.
You get man coverage. It's easy. You could have hit. I mean, you could have hit Hutchinson on this too. Hutchinson has
Yeah,
plenty of
I think at
room.
the end of the day, this is just a concept that kind of creates a one-on-one matchup, and I think that Stroud it should try to understand that you're never really trying to throw the corner. You have the corner
Yeah,
route, pull the safety.
yeah, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Nico could even turn into an option route where Nico can go inside.
Hmm.
So, but he
Yeah,
turns
and
out
really,
so
it
smoothly.
looks to me like Hutchinson has an option route on this play.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but he could break middle here. Like I said, he really is though. Like you could throw this if Nico's not up, we could throw this to this spot. That's a touchdown too. So um, let's watch the footwork here as well. Again, I don't
great
get.
release.
Yeah, I don't know why he was so bouncy on the first play or the Nico play. Like this is good footwork. It's exactly where you want it release point wise. I don't know why he was so bouncy on the first play. It's weird. Like
Yeah,
that was like I said, maybe it's just like nerves, I guess. Like you haven't thrown a real like you haven't thrown a game football in however long or a
right.
deep ball. I don't know how that works, but it's like I mean, this is a good footwork, good base, and I mean, good arm angle because if you throw this ball normally, this might get batted by this guy. But he throws it with good arm angle. I mean, so it's a good ball. It's right to the outside, what you want to see. So, good day for the offense, I would say. I mean, you really could have had really, Stroud goes 6 for 8, but all 8 should have probably been completions because it was a batted ball, and it was a batted ball and the miss. So
Yeah, yeah.
should have gone 8 for 8.
Sarah, we're definitely out on Stroud's deep ball. Like that
Whoa, who is
was.
it? Uh, oh, let's see. No, I'm not. I'm not out on Stroud's deep ball.
I'm not on his deep ball. I just need him to start hitting it again.
Yeah, I'm not really concerned about it. Like we'll kind of get back to the take here in a
Who is
second.
this Michael Emmanuel Warren guy?
Michael Emmanuel
Always
Warren, what
talking
a
about, hey
guy!
Michael, let's get a playmaker. Let's get us a playmaker.
We got some other reply. Let's go through this kind of. Do you see a Ladarius Henderson year 2 leap, man? Year 2 leap coming for Ladarius. I saw his girlfriend's TikTok the other day
Oh,
about
really?
him playing. Yeah, and he's been okay in preseason, so credit to him. But he's not gonna play. I know. I know. Jack knows that he's not gonna play. um, yeah. Oh yeah, Sarah, you were talking to Michael.
Pretty bad.
Do you want to kind of talk about the beach? I talked about this today. Something that I'm pretty sure that's not actually him. By the way, I'm pretty sure that's not actually Michael.
Yeah, I would
I'm
have
pretty
to
sure
agree.
someone's.
I would have to agree.
I'm
Michael
pretty sure
Emmanuel
someone
Warren
has
wouldn't
a.
say this. Michael
I'm pretty
Emmanuel
sure
Warren
someone. I'm pretty sure someone's cosplaying the account here.
impersonated.
Um, but uh,
Sarah, I'm not so sure that he's being real with you.
six. Yeah, it's not.
What is
It's
6'7"?
definitely Troy or okay. It's definitely someone else. It's not. It's not
Oh
Michael.
my
I can't see account. Like you can't actually see the accounts in this thing though.
Right.
So it's that. But
That's funny.
here, Troy asked an actual question. Has Ingram played well in camp too?
Yeah.
Feel like that may be the difference between him and Kenyon. I mean, I don't think like I haven't noticed
I don't
Ingram being
remember.
bad in camp, but I haven't noticed him like mauling guys in camp either. It's hard to like interior offensive line's hard to tell in camp, so it's kind of like I don't really have like any real takeaways from him in camp. I asked Landry from the days that he's been there what he thought about Ingram. He's like, I literally have no idea. I don't know. So yeah,
It's
it's
so
really
hard
hard
to
to see.
see.
He
It
looked good in
really is.
preseason. I mean, the fact that they've trusted him to take over the right guard role, it says enough to me to where that they think he's done a good job in camp. So I feel like I definitely think he's
Yeah,
better than Kenyon. He was better than Kenyon in Minnesota. So I'm not like concerned about him being Kenyon Green 2.0. I'm just saying I'm not ready to say like, oh, he has a 90 PFF grade. Uh, this preseason he's going to be a superstar, like, or he's going to be a really good starter. I'm not ready to say
right.
that, but I think he could be okay at right guard, which is probably all they need. Like
Yeah.
if he can be better than Shaq Mason,
All right.
which I think is possible. Yeah,
That's not saying much.
no, it's not. So, by the way,
Yeah.
the Michael Emmanuel Moore guy
Anyway,
is 100%. It's just a Cal account. He just made an account.
yeah.
Uh,
But he makes a great point. He's talking about Toa, so I was thinking maybe we could go over
we
some of
can
his snaps.
we
Toa
can do that
snaps.
because he played really well. He was the main standout for me defensively because I just don't really care about what Will Anderson and Derek Stingley do in preseason. I didn't think they were going to play at all, and I would have been fine with that.
They played and they
Yeah, I'd have been
dominated.
fine with that. There wasn't like there was only one Toa play that I thought was like a really awesome play that like anyone would notice, but there was a lot of examples of him doing well in coverage. I think this was the run play that I noticed him on. This is a good play, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you
Oh,
showing your
my bad.
screen?
I didn't realize. I forgot I wasn't.
I didn't know if you're just like talking to
No,
yourself.
I had the thing pulled up. I just forgot to share my screen again. There we go.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't realize it was like. Let me do it. No, it's too hard to see. I'm trying to see what the best. Yeah, let's stick with that, I guess. All right. Yeah. So this was a good play by him. By the way, Bryce having the jersey untucked was making me mad the whole film review. I don't know why. It just I don't like it. Yeah, this is a good play by Toa. Good read in the run game. I mean, he just doesn't let the line. He doesn't let the lineman get up on him.
Right. I mean, the footwork is excellent. Shows good trigger, transition, downhill speed. I like it.
Yeah.
And he's not the
No,
biggest
he's not.
linebacker, too, so
Yeah,
it's good.
you get 50. He turns over to the sideline. He said, "My bad." he knew he missed. He knew he missed on that one. He knew that was his
Yeah.
fault. So Toto made it. Toto made that tough though. I mean, it's not much. There's not really much the lineman can do from this position. Like if you want to pause it at this point, really, I mean, there's not really much he
Right.
can do here. He just
Look
yeah.
at all that space. I mean, geez.
So good play by him. But really, what
Yeah.
stood out to me was how well he did in coverage. Also, something that I can note. I want to go over kind of some of the coverage snaps. And okay, I didn't even notice at the time, but you had a. I guess Stingley's not out here at this point, but Jalen
Jalen
Smith is
Smith
out there.
playing with the
Yeah, I
Lions.
guess because Stingley's not in,
Yeah.
which I didn't know. Like he wasn't in at this point.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
But yeah, snap were another thing that I want to talk about because Toa was not in on like any third downs really early on, so we can talk about that as well.
All right.
But this was I don't remember if this was a good job. This was a good job by MJ Stewart and Kamari passing off the crossers. Yeah, Kamari didn't follow. I mean, it's just about perfect coverage. MJ Stewart makes a good play. Although this is probably just not a very good throw in my opinion.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought there. I mean, geez. I mean, we know how
Yeah,
tall
Tet is.
Ted McMillan
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Come
This
on.
ball's probably got to be better, but still a good play by MJ Stewart. Good coverage. Again, he's a reliable guy that I know the Texans trust, so he's probably going to fill in if CJ Gardner Johnson
Right.
has to miss any time. Like I said, this is a good job. This is good route recognition. You're able to pass this off. I mean, you cover this about as well as you can cover this in man coverage. I mean, you're step for step here. I mean, this is a matchup that Carolina's going to like at the end of the day, right? I mean, if Bryce throws this more to this side, it's probably a completion. You want to get it more outside. He kind of throws it middle and up. I mean, even Tet, you can kind of see he has to like slow down. So it's not a great throw. And I do think it's partly because the Texans pressure. Will Anderson's getting good push. Tim Settle gets
Yes.
good push.
You do see him kind of get
Daniel
inside there a
Hunter's
little
inside.
bit.
Yeah.
So
So
if you can go to the defensive line look
got you.
real
Yeah, let's
quick
do
and kind
that.
of see what.
I thought Tim Settle had a good
I
game.
know Sean Rankins isn't really doing much, but which I mean, Rankins, you never really know about his roster spot too. I
I think
guess.
he's a lock now. Well,
Um, Tim Sell's just
yeah.
really strong, and then at sometimes he will actually look quick, and he will
I
win with
believe
his hands
64. Who is
too.
64? I don't know who that is. So I was gonna say because I know a lot of the.
Cade
Yeah, I don't know
Mays,
who.
former
Okay.
5-star. That guy was he transferred from like Georgia to Tennessee. Gave him like a probably 6th round
Okay. Was he
grade.
in this draft class or was
Nothing
he?
crazy.
Okay. Okay.
Last year or the
Because I was
previous,
thinking
yeah.
they have two good guards, I think, right? Am I wrong about that? So he just wasn't
Right,
playing, I
right.
guess.
I think you're right. I
Because
just don't
that's
think he
Robert
was
Hunt.
playing.
That I
Can't
know.
think of the name.
That's Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt's good. Their line is good. Like that was one thing that stuck out to me last year. They have a
Yeah.
good line. So I was just kind of curious who it was, but I didn't notice. Um, but yeah, that like Tim Settle, he's very strong.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
Damian
yeah,
Lewis.
yeah, from
Yeah,
Seattle, I think, right?
good.
Yeah, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Hmm.
Um, okay, we'll go to this one. I'm just gonna go through all the first team like snaps with toe to toe in, so we can kind of watch. This one, I believe, was a good job by him in coverage. I want to say this was one of the ones where he recognized route combos well.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, he gets back to this crosser.
Yeah, I think the difference is he's truly getting his eyes
Yeah,
on targets, as where last year he just kind of felt vulnerable, and maybe that's partially on D'Amico. I don't know. Just kind
yeah,
of
he
everything
yeah
went
he
over
kind of
top of
would
him last year.
almost drift without a real plan. It felt like he would kind of like start retreating without
Right.
knowing what he wanted to actually do. And this is a good job.
But if you get your eyes on targets, he's like, "Oh, I don't even need to stay underneath. I can go
Yeah,
match this
and he
over
does
to
a
the
good job,
top
right? So
route."
he turns his eyes. I don't know if him and Aziz kind of communicate this off, like they're like he kind of looks directly at Aziz. So Aziz kind of
Yeah.
plays this this window, and then Toa Toa plays the farther window, and Toa Toa just runs with it. I
Right.
mean, there's not much that Bryce can do here. There's only two in routes, I guess, three if you count the running back coming out. So they're really trying to just take a deep shot here, um, and it's covered really well. Kamari does a good job. Toa Toa. Really, they're trying to hit Tet. I mean, this is more of a clear out route to me than anything. I feel like they're trying to kind of clear out Kamari and trying to hit this over the top, but Toa Toa takes it
Yeah.
away, and then good job by Aziz and EJ Speed, which I was laughing at this during the game because Aziz, you were that close. You were that close, my guy. He almost took another quarterback's head
Yeah, I was
off.
thinking about it too. Yeah.
It was funny too
I was
because
thinking
you can
about
see
it
Bryce get
too.
up and he's not really too happy about it. He looks back at him. He was not too happy about it. Um, but yeah, good job. And this is a 4-3 set, which they've done a little bit more 4-3 this season. So just kind of something to keep an eye on or this preseason, this camp. Um,
Yeah, they really may do it. I mean, this would be the year if you trust EJ Speed, if you
Harris.
really find a good role
Yeah.
for Christian Harris, this would be the year.
Yeah. So you have the three linebacker set. Petrie's still in the box. So you really have, we can look at it from the other view. That'll be a better view of like the defensive setup.
Yeah.
Um, but one of the things that I was kind of talking about was on third downs, on passing downs, they would take Toa Toa off the field a lot of time to put speed on. To me, that's the Christian Harris role. Like that is the most obvious Christian Harris role. Like EJ Speed's not that much better in coverage than Toa Toa is. So that is essentially what they want. I think they want Christian Harris to do in the rotation wise. So yeah, your setup is you have one deep safety. You got Kamari, Stingley playing corner, obviously, and then you have Petrie. So you really have, I mean, what is that, 8 in the box?
Right.
So yeah, it's nice to see. That was one of the Toa Toa plays that stood out to me in coverage. I don't remember a whole lot of the other ones for some reason. It's gonna do this for you now. This was the one that I remember him giving up um, when I watched. He gets picked here though, so I don't really know if it's his fault. MJ Stewart kind of. I,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean
really
that
know.
seems like a very tough
Yeah,
ask. He would have never gone to that
no.
running back.
Yeah, you would hope for kind of better communication from the three Texans guys. Like, I mean, it's a good combo too. There's not really much you can do here.
Yeah.
Um, I guess you would probably want him to take a little bit more like depth to it because I don't know what the down and distance is, but 3rd and 8, you don't really have to. He didn't really have to cut under MJ Stewart like that because he's never like that's not gonna kind of runs into MJ Stewart. But there's not really much he can do here. So that was the one completion I think he gave up.
Yeah. I would say that's a good rep by yeah, you can play. Good rep by Lassiter too, because I
Okay,
mean
yeah.
again, we know he can run downhill really fast, but for him to match that route laterally, it's always nice to see.
Yep, and then this is another good run stop from the linebackers. I didn't really. I was kind of. I remember watching this like live and being like impressed by it, but then I watch it back and I'm like, just nobody blocked them. So there's not really.
Exactly. Like, yeah, sure, he's a
Yeah.
good athlete. That's just kind of what you
Yeah.
do in
And
that
like I remember
situation.
watching it, I'm like, oh, he's made a good play. I mean, if they don't make this tackle, they should be cut. So so
Right,
that there's not a whole lot there. I mean, they're physical guys. They're gonna go make that play. I just was
right.
like
That's a
yeah, I
heck of a
remember
freeze
watching it
frame.
like live, like I said, and being like, "Oh man, that was an awesome play." And then you go back and watch, I'm like, "Oh, just nobody touched them." So,
Yeah,
Toa made a play here. This was a good play. I think this was a Togiai play. Or no, this actually, yeah, okay. This is not a
yeah.
Toa play. But we can watch this because I did
Which
bring
is
up
fine.
Togiai as a guy that I really
Yeah.
liked. Um, just powers through the double team, spins back,
Woo!
and actually, it's that EJ Speed that made the play originally. I think it is. It kind of flows down. Boom. It's a good play.
That is about as good as it gets in terms of
Yeah.
having a quick trigger and gap
Yep. And
discipline. That has excellent.
yeah, and you can see the difference between Edwards and Togiai taking on the double teams here from the interior. I mean, Togiai takes it
Yeah.
on, he sheds it, he spins off. I mean, that's an exceptional rep from Togiai. That's why they love him. They love Tommy Togiai.
Right.
Um,
And at the end of the day, they don't even care if he
no,
sheds off, but they just care if
yeah,
he holds down the double team. Because I mean, look at what you free up for these athletic linebackers. That is just teach tape rep by the
yeah.
entire
And then you have
defense.
this is another Togiai play. I don't remember this one as well. I just remember watching that one and be like, that was a really good play. Um, but I remember his name coming up a lot in run defense, like his name being around the
Right.
ball. So I was like, oh, he probably had a good game. Russ Yeast in the box. There you go. It's our guy. Again, he's taking on the double team. I mean, yeah, he is shedding these double teams, man. Look at this.
Right. It's nice how like smooth it is. I mean, it's
Hmm.
the big guy. He's just kind of perfectly replacing his hands, moving his shoulders. It doesn't have to be quick. It just has to be
Yep.
technical.
And you got Junior Tafunas in the backfield. He kind of just swims around.
Right.
Um, yeah. So I mean, Togiai, like I said, I'm not gonna put him on my roster lock. I don't think, but I think there's
I
an
don't know,
85.
Jacob. I mean, you need that. You
I
need that.
I think there's an 85% chance he makes the roster though. I'm like as close to he's probably my first guy off the locked list.
Right. It's really a
Um
shame that we haven't gotten to see Folu Fotokasi play
yeah.
because if you would
Which
be able to look at
he's not
them
on my locked
side by
list either.
side.
He's not on my locked list either. Togi or
Right. Well,
Folu's
yeah.
not. Um
I just you see Togiai make plays like that, and you're like, okay, you need that on an NFL roster. There's no doubt in my mind. So
yeah, Togiai has made a lot of plays. And Togiai, I want to say is 20 something. He's not old. Like he was a top or not a top pick, but he was like a third or
right.
fourth round pick a couple years ago.
He went to
So
Ohio. He's 25. He
yeah.
played at
Yeah,
Ohio
he's a
State.
young dude. And like I said, I can tell you with confidence that D'Amico Ryan loves Tommy Togiai. Like they love Tommy Togiai. They talk about Tommy Togiai in pressers and stuff like they love it. Like literally like they would trust him over any of these other defensive tackles. Like I would almost lean that they would keep him over like a Sheldon Rankins or Tim Settle. They
Yeah, that's kind
love
of why I
him.
was thinking like I don't know. I would if Danico Autry is healthy, I'd rather just keep Tommy Togai, get rid of Sheldon
Uh-huh.
Rankins, potentially get rid of Fadukasi, Tim Settle, stays, Mario Edwards stays, because you feel good about the run defense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so this is another play by Togiai. We can watch this as well.
I wouldn't get rid of Fadukasi, but yeah, Sheldon Rankins I would just cut.
I mean, this isn't a double team. He just takes on the block, fills the gap.
That's,
I mean,
I mean,
I don't. The
these
more
are
I watch, the more
highlights.
I'm like, yeah. The more that I watch, I'm like, yeah. I don't think. I think he might go on the lock list, guys.
Can you go
I think
to a
he might.
regular run play, just like a regular run play where he doesn't make a tackle,
Yeah. Let's do
just to
that.
like
We'll
see
go.
what he does on like a basic?
Yeah. Oh, he made this play as well. I don't think we even watched that one. So he's making all the plays.
I
All right,
keep
this
seeing
is
his
a
name. Yeah.
yeah. This is a basic run play here. We'll
Okay.
see what he
Basic run
does.
play. Just kind of see his
3
technique.
yard gain.
He's probably gonna
Uh,
get double teamed if I had to guess. Look at all those guys on the side. Okay, got one
yeah.
guy motion over. Um, so he's a 3 technique here. He pretty good after the snap. Oh, kind of
Yeah.
glitched a little bit.
Okay, here we can watch it back. I don't know. That's my bad.
No, it's
Let's
okay.
run this back. Yeah.
Pretty quick get off. He definitely absorbs contact well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of stops his momentum, so that's fine. I mean, that is a zone run away from his side, so it wasn't really
hmm
wasn't
You
really
know
what
what
I
we
was
can do
looking for,
actually?
but
I can sort it by. I think I should be able to sort it by.
between the tackles or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see if I can do that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Here we go. Okay. So here we go.
yeah,
So these are some ones later in the game. I guess they count that as inside the tackle because he ran in the middle, even though it
yeah.
was
It
clearly
was
not
just
a.
kind of it was a wider zone away from him.
Yeah,
So
that's one of the things that I wish NFL Pro did was they sorted it by concept, not uh
for sure, yeah,
tackle. But okay, here we go. So he's right here.
yeah, that's okay. Again, not to his
Yeah,
side, but if it was to his side, well, for also again, he's just doing his job. Like the
yeah.
linebacker would have filled there if the play was to that side.
I mean, Hanson still does a pretty good job filling. I know, obviously, he didn't make the tackle, but he's there. Like, I mean, he
Right.
gets downhill.
Also,
So
yeah, Jake Hansen looks like really athletic too. I didn't
he had a
even
good
notice
game.
that.
Yeah, Jake Hansen had a good game.
I mean, this guy
Um,
was probably the first guy in, last guy out to get in a shape like that. So
and then here, this is we can watch one more just random run play here. This is Tremon Smith. Oh, this was a good play by Tremon. I remember watching this.
I mean, this is the ultimate run
So
defense.
Togi, I was right
You got
here.
Tafuna in as well.
I mean,
Um,
that's
yeah,
good.
I guess they both ate double teams. Yeah, they just both ate double teams. But you had two guys to fill. You had a safety to fill as well.
Yeah, Millette. That's Millette. That's
Mhm.
downhill. Um,
I
I
think
mean, that's it's kind of getting
Horton
held.
set the edge
Yeah,
well, and then let's see what Bird does. Yeah, I mean, there's gaps to fill, so that's great job by
yeah, and
everyone.
then I mean, this is literally perfect run defense. And you get Tremon on the cutback, and I mean, I know
Right.
he falls, but he's making
Yeah.
that play. Like Tremon's making that tackle either way. So, I
Mhm.
mean, you couldn't ask for a lot better run defense than this. This is kind of teach tape
Yeah. Yeah, you got,
on how to
Horton's got the
defend a
C
run.
gap, Woodard's got the B gap, you got the other off-ball linebacker.
That's Neiman. Yeah, 32 is
Oh,
Neiman.
Neiman, shit.
So that's Woodard. That's Neiman. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Woodard's 46.
yeah. So I mean, pretty much ideal run defense.
Yeah.
Is there any other kind of guys you want to highlight, or I think we highlighted the guys we were talking about because we
Yeah.
Toa Toa, offense, Tafuna were the kind of guys we wanted to talk
Mhm.
about. All right,
Yeah, I
I
think the
think we
big
could
the
go.
big thing for me is just like injury updates. Like, what is going on? Like, are we gonna put someone on short-term IR? Because the defensive line is a big
Yeah.
mystery. Because you will be just fine with even a
Oh yeah.
junior Tafuna on the roster. You can keep Jake Hansen on the roster because he's clearly he's an experienced linebacker that's also athletic, and then Tommy
Uh,
Toga is flashing. And you know what
yeah.
Sheldon
They
Rankins
have
can do.
they have a
So
lot of options for that last
they do.
linebacker spot, and I want to say it's Jamal Hill, but I don't think it's gonna be Jamal Hill.
No.
I'm rooting for it to be Jamal Hill, but at the end of the day, I like Jake Hansen. I like other guys. I'm not like, oh, that was a mistake if they choose a different guy. It's more that um it's more that I just like the upside of Jamal Hill. But Jake Hansen's played really well, and he's been good for um so I don't really care who that last linebacker is at the end of the
What
day.
was
I'm not
the
overly
Did
concerned
we
about
figure
it.
out the deal? I think Texans Cap was tweeting about the short-term IR and how many players can go on it.
Yeah, he did tweet.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up.
Yeah.
Um,
Because like
by the way, speaking of Texans cap, if y'all haven't, or if y'all didn't see it, I'll probably retweet it at some point. But I started writing for his newsletter, so check that out. I'm doing like post game recaps and different things on there, so check that out. The Cap and Trade newsletter on Substack. Check that out. I enjoy doing that kind of stuff. So um, let's see, where's his tweet about it? Okay, so you can place two players on
Mhm.
IR for return simultaneously at the 53 man reduction. Um, so NFI and PUP reserves at 53 man reduction will miss 4 games. So you could keep mixing on NFI or NFI.
Right.
You could move.
And
I'm sure.
Autry.
Yeah. Well, I think Autry's on PUP, so it's the same idea. IR for, I guess the IR rules are the same. So yeah, it probably would be those two. But the
Hmm.
problem becomes if Mixon has to go on there, do you cut Denico Autry to make room for Mixon? Because
Oh, you can't put Autry on an injury list.
so I think the max is two for the
But who's the
for at
other?
the beginning.
So Mixon and who?
Um, well, I blanked. Oh yeah, it would just
It,
be those
it,
two.
yeah, it's just them,
Okay, yeah, I blanked
right?
on that. I don't know
Oh,
why I was.
okay.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking there was three guys. I guess I was thinking of Jalen Reed, but I don't think Jalen Reed's that injured. I
Right.
think he's okay.
And okay, maybe like Chauncey Gardner Johnson doesn't play the first 2 weeks, but like
Yeah,
you just kind of rotate MJ Stewart,
no, yeah,
Reed.
yeah. I think that's fine. And you could Russ use practice squad and then just call him up for game day.
Oh,
So
true. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can literally elevate him from the practice squad. Yeah.
yeah. And so, some other options I guess for that spot would be Trent Brown if you want to keep him around. I think they're my prediction with Trent Brown is that they're just going to IR him for the season and just have him in the building. I don't think they want him to ever play. That's been my take since they signed him.
Which
I
is
don't
fair.
think they ever want him to actually take snaps. I think they just like him in the building because he's played in the offense before. He's actually like a perfect guy from Ursery to learn from. He's a huge tackle that maybe he doesn't have the most physical skills in the world, but he has good technique. He's got good hands,
Mhm.
so I mean, it's a good guy for him to learn from.
Yeah.
And that would probably be the only options. I don't think Gardner Johnson, like if he's working out on the side field already, I'm not really concerned about him missing more than one or two games. So,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he literally is already working out on side field. So I would say don't do that with him. I think they'll keep him on roster. Tank Dell, I think, goes on IR. Like, I think he's just hard for the season.
Yeah.
Coming up here pretty
I think at
soon.
the end of the day, like the ones that make things messy is like if you keep Dare, if you keep D'Angelo
They're
Ross, like
gonna keep Dare.
then you're kind of like, oh well, where do these guys fit in? And then you might actually lose some talented players, but yeah, we're talking about
Yeah, they're
backups.
gonna keep Dare.
Yeah. But of course,
Which
yeah, I mean, right. We are talking about if Mixon, it goes on IR. That's fine. That actually is okay.
Yeah, I don't think my take on. I don't think they're even going to cut him when he comes back. I think they're just going to keep five backs. Is my kind of take on it. I don't think they're ever really going to move on from Dari like I kind of want them to.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see. I guess I'm
I mean, you
not.
could be like just freaking praying that Damian Pierce goes off,
I don't
and you
think they
get
would even
traded.
keep him that
Yeah.
way. I don't think they're. I just don't think they're going to get rid of him, no matter like, what the situation is. I don't think they want
Yeah.
to get rid of him. I don't think they. I think they value him more than like a backup at a certain spot. Is what I.
Right.
I don't think they want him to play at all. That's why they drafted Woody. I don't think they want him to actually take offensive snaps, but I think they value him too much to
Hmm.
cut him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and like maybe there's a scenario where you are trading Cam Robinson away, at some point, and then you're calling up a practice squad tackle to be the other backup tackle to Blake Fisher, and just there's things you can do with practice squad, call ups, and that's just kind of something that they can do throughout the year. I mean, they can
Yeah,
bring up that they can cut that tall offense tackle that they signed,
yeah, McDermott. Yeah,
and then put him on the practice squad, and then just bring him up. Like they can do stuff like that. You're just getting him familiar with the system, bring him back later. We've seen, teams do that around the league before. So, and the Texans always like to get flexible. So,
yeah, yeah. They always the Texans have always had. I don't know the average on practice squad elevations, but they've got to be near the top because they have a lot of guys on practice
right.
squad that end up playing for them at some
Hmm.
points in the season. So, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. The fact that they had the depth to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm making my locks right now actually, and Tommy Togiai has made the list. I think he's a lock at this point. I don't think they're going to cut
Yeah.
him.
When you play that well, I mean, I understand that one guy wasn't starting for the Panthers, like that.
Yeah.
Damian Lewis wasn't playing, but I don't know. I think the technique is there, and I think he looks athletic enough, and so that was exciting to watch. And
Think,
then,
I
yeah.
don't know if I would say the nine linemen are locks. My dog is in my room. I don't know what this is about. You want to say
Yeah,
hi,
I,
Max?
I can't imagine
Come on.
anything weird happening with the 9 offensive linemen.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything all that different with what they have. So I have my locks. The IR is not going to count, so I'm going to delete that. I'm
IR
not going to
lock
count the.
makes
I'm not going with IR locks. Oh, that was who I was thinking of. What are you going to do with Jimmy Ward? Because that could take up a spot on IR.
Oh
That
yeah.
was what I was thinking of. Is what are you going to do with that situation?
Wait, what did they have to take him off like the non-football injury list or something?
I think he's on PUP, but I don't know how many guys you can take from PUP. If it's IR, if you can only keep two, then I don't know what you would do in that situation.
I guess you probably have to cut him. And they only have a
Yeah,
couple weeks to, or I don't know. What are they waiting for? Who knows? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. They would either have to cut him or Autry if they can only keep two, I guess. I would feel
Right.
like they would rather cut Ward. I would guess at this point that would make more sense, but I don't know. All right, here's my roster. Let's pull up my roster locks. I have. Hold on, let me count how many guys there are on my lock list actually, so we can see how many spots have open. So I'm kind of curious about this now. There are a couple guys that I think might be a little surprising. I have the 9 linemen as locks. I don't really think there's like a ton of change to be had there. So I have 48 guys as locks currently. So 5 spots open. There's
Oh
a
wow.
lot of locks on this roster.
Five.
I've kind of
Yes. Yeah.
and did so this these are the locks that I have currently on the roster. So I think
What we need.
so there's 5 open spots. I think Damian Pierce takes one of them. I think Justin Watson
Okay.
takes one of them. I think Solu takes one of them. And then I think Dylan Horton takes one. I think he does. I'm not 100% sold on Dylan Horton making the team though.
Wait. How many receivers did they have on the active
7.
roster last year?
Because they
Really?
kept Sims.
I,
It was it was
I think they could really get
I
away
think
with
they
6
could, but
this
I,
year.
I feel like they
I
want to
think they
keep Watson.
should
I'm not
too.
100% certain. I think they're gonna keep Watson, but I'm not
Um,
sold. The hard part for me is okay. So I think so. I'm pretty confident your Damian Pierce is going to be this guy. So that's 49,
right.
and then so the question is, would you rather have Justin Watson or Harrison Bryant or Irv Smith?
Oh no! You have to. You have to have 3
But
tight
yeah, I
ends.
think
There's
Jocko's
no way
essentially a
around it.
tight end though. I know he's listed as a
I know.
fullback,
I
but yeah.
know. But like I think honestly, I do think Harrison Bryant is a lock.
Okay.
I
So I
really
can't put
do.
him as a lock
I don't think
because
you make that
I'm just
trade.
not 100% certain that they will keep him over Irv Smith. I would lean that they're going to keep one of the two, and it's probably Harrison
Oh yeah,
Bryant.
they'll keep some.
But I also wonder
Yeah.
if while they have the kind of the roster, like while they're kind of waiting on injury stuff, if they would keep 2 tight ends, put Harrison Bryant or Irv on practice squad, and then just call them up for game day,
Yeah, I think Irv could get. I mean, maybe
or
Irv could get
Lachey
away
on
with being on
practice
practice
squad,
squad.
I guess.
Not,
So,
yeah, that's true.
um, so and then defensive linemen, I think there's 8 guys that are locks. I don't think any of these guys are getting cut. I don't think any. I don't see any of these guys. If there was one guy I had to pick that was most likely, it probably would be Barnett, just because he's missed like all of camp. But I don't think they're going to cut Derek Barnett. So Derek Barnett, like you know what Derek Barnett is. He does a lot of times in season he doesn't even practice throughout the week and he just shows up. So I don't really think they care what Derek Barnett does.
Yeah, and they're probably thinking the same thing with Sheldon Rankins too. Like, yeah, he might have 6 sacks. We don't really need to, worry about what he does in
Yeah,
preseason. He's probably earned his
yeah,
spot.
and he's had a
And then you
pretty
got the
good camp
linebacker.
as well. He hadn't really done anything in preseason, but he's had a good camp.
Right.
Linebacker, I mean, linebacker. There's 4 locks. These guys are making the roster. And then there's probably there. I
Yeah.
would guess they're only going to keep 5. I think at one point they kept 6. One of these years they kept 6. I don't think they're going to keep 6, but you basically have a
Right.
choice between Jake Hansen, Jamal Hill, Nick Neiman. I would go Jamal Hill. I think they're going to go Jake Hansen. That would be my guess because I think
That's fine.
Jake Hansen gives you the balance of the two. Where I think Nick Neiman is the best special teamer of the 3. I think Jamal Hill might be the best linebacker of the 3, and I think Jake Hansen probably gives
Yeah,
you the middle, like the middle ground. He's a good special teamer that can also play linebacker.
right.
So he's essentially just like Neville Hewitt, I guess now. Like Neville Hewitt's gone, so he just
He really is. And I'm totally
or
fine with
EJ Speed's
that.
Neville
He's
Hewitt because EJ
gonna be a
Speed's going to be a
better
special
Neville
teamer
Hewitt.
too. So.
Look, EJ Speed looks really
Yeah,
promising.
he's done a good
I would
job
say.
in preseason.
He looks like a starter in the league,
Yeah.
and that's why he's
I
a
and
loss.
so okay, so going to corner, the DB room has gotten weird with what they're going to do because Miles Bryant started to play safety because they have injuries at safety, so he has been playing safety. That to me is the easiest lock. Like he's making the roster. He looked good at nickel
Oh
corner.
yeah,
He can play safety. He's 100% making the team. Jalen Reed and these guys are all making the team. These guys are all making the roster. There's no doubt in my mind. The only spot that's
hmm
up for grabs is this spot somewhat. I just don't see how you would keep like who would you keep? D'Angelo Ross over him? I don't see how that's possible. Tremont
no.
Smith is a better special teamer and he's a better corner. So if you keep D'Angelo
I
Ross,
think the plan was for him to be on the roster the second he
yeah,
signed the contract, knowing what
I mean,
Frank Ross
he's making the
prioritizes.
most money out of any core special teamer in the NFL, and he's on a 2-year deal. There's no way in hell they're going to cut him.
Right,
No,
he's not getting cut.
so
Yeah,
he's
like
a
there's
lock
no
to me.
way.
I think he's a fine
Yeah,
depth corner too. Like that's the funny thing. When he was here the first time around, I liked when he was out there. I thought he did a decent job. So yeah, Tremont Smith is on the football team. Don't really think there's a lot of debate about that. Like I said, so if you're looking for the five final spots, I would lean Pierce here. I think Harrison
yeah.
Bryant does make it. The hard part is like, so you're gonna, what it's gonna come down to is so okay. So if this is what you're looking at, right? So Harrison Bryant,
Now we have 3 spots left
yeah.
after Pierce.
So you have three spots. They're one of them's going
Okay.
to a linebacker. They're not going to keep four linebackers. So
Oh, sorry.
two
Yeah, we have two
spots.
spots
So
left.
they're
Yeah.
gonna keep nine at least defensive linemen, I think. So I think this is Folu. So now the
Okay,
question is,
and
the
then
hard part
yeah,
is
that's
do you
fine.
keep Dylan Horton or do you keep Justin Watson or do you keep one of these guys? I would keep Dylan Horton, but I don't know if they.
Well, what if they just keep Jimmy
No,
Ward?
that's true too. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually think that would be what they
Yeah,
do.
maybe they do. I feel like is Jimmy
Yeah,
Ward like is he alive? Like I know he's been in.
I have
What is
no
Jimmy like?
idea.
It's not just the off the field stuff. Like I have not seen him at all this offseason. He wasn't in OTAs. He wasn't
Right.
like I know he's been in the building because I've seen his Instagram stories, but like what
Yeah.
is he doing currently? Like is he going to be available to play at all? I I don't know what that situation is. I feel like you just almost have to cut him. Like
I'm totally down with that because yeah, we have
because
no idea. Why
yeah,
are we waiting?
and I would be like what would really make me mad is if you keep him and I don't really care if you cut Nico Autry, but like if Joe Mixon, if like okay, they're gonna like we're gonna keep Autry and Ward on IR, and then Joe Mixon's on the roster and he didn't play for 4 weeks or 3 weeks, we'll be like that was a waste of a roster spot. That was a total waste. I hate when they do that. I hate when teams do
Yeah,
that. So I'm just like of the mindset of like I think Jimmy Ward's just kind of out at this point because I don't think they really have a need at safety. Like I'm fine with these four safeties. I think this is a fine room. I think this is
for sure.
totally fine. Jimmy Ward was needed if CJ Gardner Johnson was going to miss time. I don't think he is though.
Correct.
And I think in a pinch, if MJ Stewart has to play 3 weeks, I think he's fine. Or if Jalen Reed has to play 3 weeks,
Totally.
he's fine. So I don't really know. One of the more interesting conversations, actually, though, is I don't think it's impossible that they say we're not going to keep him. We're going to keep British Brooks and use him as like another hybrid fullback, tight end, special teamer. It's not that impossible for them to do
That
that.
is actually
They
very
could do
interesting.
this,
Yeah,
and they've done it.
because he'd
Uh-huh.
be a great
They
special teamer.
love British
So,
Brooks, like literally love British Brooks. If there was 55 guys, British Brooks
and
is
the
on the team.
reason why last year he didn't and he
Hmm.
got hurt
Yeah,
last year, right? That
yeah.
was the problem.
He got
Okay.
he tore
Oh
his
yeah.
something in the Buffalo game. So they love British Brooks. Like if there was 56 guys, they're keeping British Brooks. Like he's very valuable
Right.
to them in many different ways. I just the roster is so deep this year. I don't know if you can keep him on the 53. But the problem is,
Right, and that's the same conversation about like Jamal Hill. Like,
yeah,
it's just
I think the
unfortunate.
question becomes okay, so if you want to keep a seventh receiver, because I do understand the argument of Barrios isn't really here to be a receiver. He's here to be a special teamer. He's here to be the punt returner. Even though he can't do some things in the receiving game, he's more here because he's a good special teamer. He's a good returner. I get that. I just wonder if the gap from Justin Watson to who would be your practice squad receiver at this point? Like who's the eighth receiver?
Xavier.
They cut him. They cut him.
Oh wait. No,
Xavier
sorry.
Johnson got
What?
cut.
Sorry.
Um,
Jackson. I
oh,
meant
Daniel
to say
Jackson. Yeah.
Jackson.
So is the gap between
Daniel
those two
Jackson.
guys big enough to cost you a roster spot? Because Daniel Jackson's
No.
not getting picked up. He's a practice squad guy. Like he'd be a lock on your practice squad. I would rather just keep him on practice squad. I would. And then
Yeah.
you could keep him. You could keep Quintez Cephas if you want on practice squad. I like Cephas last
Yeah,
preseason,
that's fine as
so
well.
you can keep a
Yeah.
couple of receivers there if you need to. I'm
Right.
fine with the receivers. I would probably keep six because I don't really. The problem for me is
Yeah.
okay. Xavier Hutchinson is just Justin Watson but younger. They do the exact same things, like literally identical. Like they're on the field and they do the same things. So if there was a conversation with the seventh guy that had it 4.2 speed, I'd talk about this differently. Like we just get the burner they can run, but they don't have that. They don't have a guy like that. Like Justin Watson is just like another receiver body. Justin Watson might not be a guy that gets picked up as another roster, like on another team.
Yeah,
So
for all we know. He's just a veteran receiver that, maybe he's a little crafty, maybe he's
mhm.
reliable,
And
but
the other day,
that's
honestly, what was funny is I saw the other day that they were talking about Robert Woods maybe getting cut. Just bring him back on practice squad. If nobody else picks him up, just bring him on practice squad, and
yeah.
that's your depth guy. Like I, I, I think I would rather keep Dylan Horton. Um, I'd rather keep, dude. I think I'd rather keep Russ Yeast as another DB than Justin Watson. I like Russ Yeast. I think he's done a good job for himself. I think I'd rather keep British Brooks too. So I would lean six receivers probably. It's just tough because I think Justin Watson maybe is
Absolutely.
a straight up better player than a lot of these guys, but receivers just not the seventh receiver is not that valuable to me. But I will say Justin Watson's a good special teamer, and they value that from depth guys. So just something to kind of remember. Like if he makes the roster, it's not maybe not just because he's a good maybe not just because he's like a good um, I can't think of what I was going to say. Like he's not just a good receiver; he can do special teams things as well. So just kind of something to think about for that last rush spot. By the way, we got the
Yeah.
chat going.
It's gonna be
If
really
Hutch
fun.
if Hutch cooks
Yeah.
Detroit, he's not going to play in the game. If you mean joint practice, I mean maybe, but he's not going to play in the game. He won't play. He's a roster lock.
Yeah, they signed like
Mhm.
two extra receivers.
Yeah, it was
They don't
because
want these guys to
yeah, and
play.
yeah, I mean because they traded Mechie and then Xavier Johnson, he had his injury, so they had to bring in extra bodies. That's what they did. So
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing a very, very deep 53-man roster. See if our guys make it. See what kind of weird things they do for special teams because they like to do not weird, but
yeah, yeah.
smart.
We'll have to do something like okay, we'll look at my roster locks after and we'll see how that goes. But we'll have to do something like just see how many I can get right. Maybe we'll have to get some type of
Yeah.
like challenge. I know that's what Landry.
Yeah. Keep the take
That's
those
what I'm
five
doing right
guys
now.
out. Keep the roster locks. And we'll just look at that because I agree with all the locks on there. So it'd be interesting to see if they don't if you're not
Yeah, the
all
most.
correct because I'd be shocked. I actually would be genuinely surprised
Yeah,
if
I
some of
don't
those
really
guys are
see like the offensive line. I think is set with 9. The thing that would shake it up, I guess, would be a Cam Robinson trade at this point. But
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think they're gonna
Damian
do that.
Pierce
Yeah,
trade,
but
something like
Damian Pierce
that.
isn't even a lock for me. So uh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's true. You're right.
I do think I would give Damian Pierce like an 85% chance. Like, there's a side of me that's like
Right.
they haven't seen him play. Brian Robinson's a potential option. Like, would they rather just go pick up another back that they've seen and then just move on from Pierce? Not that I think Damian Pierce and Brian Robinson are like very similar backs. I just like maybe they just value the tape that they have on other guys versus Damian Pierce. But I think Damian Pierce will make this team. But yeah, certain trades could throw stuff off. I mean, I wouldn't be that surprised if like Justin Watson got moved for like a seventh or something either. Um, you know,
Yeah. It's always fun to see the little moves
yeah.
that teams make,
And I'm an Irv
especially the
Smith believer, but
Texans.
I do believe Harrison Bryant is going to make the team. I do believe he's on the roster. I'm not like 100. I can't put him as a lock because he just has been here for 3 days, and it's not like they traded for him intentionally. They just got him back from Mech, even though I do think they wanted him.
This is true. This is true. But yeah, I think he's a glorified tight end too in this league, and so
Yeah,
we kind of
and
need that.
I do think
But
like they it wasn't like oh yeah, we'll take Harrison Bryant. I do think they wanted Harrison Bryant. Like
Yeah,
so
I agree. They could have sent John Mechie to
yeah.
any other team
Yeah,
in the
yeah, and
league.
I think that obviously they wanted the draft capital at the end of the day. Like that was the biggest part of the trade. But I also think they were like, okay, if we can get similar trade value and add a third tight end that we need, that's what they wanted to do. And they do have the Nick Haley connection because Harrison Bryant got to FAU in 2016. Nick Haley was there in 2015. So he was part of the recruiting, or at least he was there for when they recruited Harrison Bryant. So, and I thought Harrison Bryant in Cleveland was a fine player. So I don't know. He can block a little
Yeah,
bit, so he's a big dude. He's a big dude. Um, yeah, so I think he's on the roster. There's just 48 guys for a roster lock is a lot. So I was like, I'm not gonna put too many more guys on there. Uh, like there's a couple
yeah,
guys that I guess you
yeah.
could count as risky. Like is Togiai risky? Maybe I guess. Um, Tremont Smith, a little risk there, I guess. Jakob, actually, Jakob has a lot of risk to it. I feel like Jakob's not a lock. I don't think, but I do, or he's not like a top tier
Oh,
lock.
because
He's
of
not a
British
top tier
Brooks.
lock.
Yeah, that's
I think
fair.
he's on the roster. I think the Brevin Jordan injury essentially made him into a lock because I think at that point he's essentially like your 2.5 tight end. He can be your fullback. So I
Yeah,
think he is a lock, but I don't think he's like a 100% lock. There's like obviously guys that are like, I'm like, yeah, he's making the roster. Like obviously the top guys, but then there's guys
right.
like, you know, Xavier Hutchinson, 100% lock. He is 100% on this football team now. You know, another guy like, you know, Miles Bryant. I'm confident enough to say Miles Bryant's 100% lock. He's on this football team. Like with Jakob, I'm like 90%. Right? Like there's a 10% chance that okay, Harrison Bryant looks really good, Irv Smith looks really good. They want to keep British Brooks. He's off the team, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. I guess those guys will probably be the ones
It
to
will
watch in the
because
preseason game
Jakob
if
will
they do
play.
play.
Jakob will
So
play in that game, and
yeah, Nago will play, British will
yeah,
play, Brian will
I
play.
wonder if we'll
So
see. I
let's
wonder if
look
we'll
at
see
those guys.
Woody. Probably. I don't know. I don't know if we'll see Woody in that game. Maybe like first drive if he's done.
Well, no, they cut JJ Taylor. They don't have any
They
other
could go.
options.
I guess they go British, Jawar, just British and
Oh,
Jawar.
I guess.
Um, yeah,
So
they probably would do
lame.
that, but I think they'll play Woody for a little bit probably, and then go to Jawar and Brooks. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean those are the most interesting guys. I don't know, like the 9 linemen to me are essentially locked at this point, unless there's like a Juice Gross trade that materializes too or something like that. Um, but like maybe if Juice plays, that'll be something to watch. Jalen Thomas is a guy I'm still interested to watch. I like to have him back on practice squad. So, you know,
Mhm.
when you watch as much as we do, Drew, I think we kind of get excited about the practice squad pickups and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I love watching the 53-man
yeah,
roster cut
yeah.
down.
So it'll be an exciting game for us still. Obviously, British Brooks will have to look good as a running back too. That's a big thing. Like he is essentially a running back now. It's just nice that he can do a lot of different things. But if he has a big game, I wouldn't be shocked if he sneaks his way onto the roster again. He was the guy that I remember last year. Everyone was kind of rooting for to make the team, and he kind of
Oh,
he did. So
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
wouldn't be shocked if that happens again.
Hmm.
I wouldn't surprise me at all. Just something I'm gonna be keeping my eye on there. But like you said, he's gonna get a lot of carries. He's probably gonna get 15 plus carries in this game because they don't have a lot of running back options. So and he's a great
Yeah.
special teamer. So there's a lot of options there.
Mhm.
Anything else you want to add, Drew?
I think
All
that's
right.
it.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in. I know this one was kind of like a little bit different. Like I said, me and Drew have been really busy with college stuff. We got. I know my move in. Drew's already moved in. He's got his LSU stuff going on. So we're a little busy with everything right now. But school starts for us next week. So once we kind of get into that rhythm, it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, that'll
And we
be
got the
good.
season coming up, so lots to be excited about.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to getting to talk with you all throughout the season. Hopefully, it's a little bit more fun to recap the offense this season. Hopefully, it's a little bit better coach than it was last year. We don't have to talk about guys running into each other and line not blocking basic stunts. So, something just to kind of look forward to. A lot of offensive stuff coming. Obviously, defense we kind of just know, so we don't have to talk too much about defense always. We appreciate you all for tuning in. We will see y'all next.